What have you heard?
Were you able to fix the problem with our...
But the noise comes up.
Well, did you figure it out?
Yes. I think it had something to do with when your friend from the Oris was here.
Rollins?
Right, did he tell you about any modifications he made to the ship?
No.
You're sure?
Well, I think it's partially my fault. When he was here on the bridge, before I knew that you and he were supposed to be our prisoners, he was talking about spring reverb and reverberation envelopes. I didn't think much of that at the time. I mean, my head was so foggy I forgot he was even on board for a while.
There's a side effect of the surgery. I had to dull your memory center so that your neural cortex could heal itself.
Right, but then I saw Foster and suddenly it made sense. This chip uses sonics as its basic operating principle, right? The crystals, the dimensional tears, all a product of a manipulation of sound. Foster's the Oris, right? His phone is the Rift. He's playing music and sending a signal, but the Oris can't hear it because we blocked it, right?
Oh, I'm with you so far.
According to the captain, the Oris could always tell when a dimensional tear had been opened. They could tell when we were jumping and where we were jumping from, but that was it. By the time they got there, we were safe and sound on the other side of the wormhole. They could only detect one side of that wormhole. But if I put Foster's phone on the bed, he feels the vibrations. That's what he did. Krellins, I mean.
He enhanced the reverberations when we were crossing dimensions so that it was strong enough for the Oris to triangulate where we were going.
Okay. So were you able to fix it?
No. He introduced an artificial reverb into the system. I can't, how do I explain this? Like the bed, he used a much larger object to enhance the reverberations. I can't stop the Oris from following us without destroying that artificial reverberator.
Okay, so do that.
I can't.
What did he use?
The ship.
Okay, so don't do that.
What does the captain have to say about this?
The captain doesn't know what to do about it. Not yet.
Sir, where are you?
In the Minamoa, the shuttle from the Oris.
Any particular reason?
Shuttles have what's known as slipstream drive. They can't open new dimensional tears, but they can travel back down the path the Rift has been through as long as the dimensional tears haven't resealed themselves yet. We were in this dimension with an Earth that was at technology level 10 only 11 days ago. Chances are good I can still get there and see if they have any know.
Sir, we need to discuss this. There must be better options.
No time. The dimensional tears heal fast. If I don't go now, I might not be able to reach you.
Captain, I have to agree with Jira. What if he gets stuck within the dimensional tear? Then he'd be trapped.
How long does it take a dimensional tear to heal?
Usually 12 days tops, 14 at the most.
The reverberation envelope might keep it open longer, but there's no way to tell.
Sorry, we can't afford to keep waiting around. Ask Decker see what she can do to stop the reverb. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Sir?
I can't believe he just did that.
Well, he wanted me to give you this.
Did you know what he was intending to do with the Mitamoa?
Yes, but I'm sorry. He didn't want me to tell you. He thought you guys would try to talk him out of it.
It's a moot point now. Decker, I really need you to stay here.
Oh, I have to go and try to
There's
fix this.
something wrong with your neural cortex. I need to run a deeper scan. It's the only way I'm going to figure out what's wrong.
Will someone please tell me what the hell is going on here?
Would you mind cutting that out? Stop.
Cut it out! I can't stay here. It's driving me crazy.
Your condition is unprecedented. If you develop a clot or an embolism because of the restructuring, you could die. You leave, head go pop. You die. Clear?
brain's not gonna start oozing out of my ears anytime soon, is it?
No, not yet anyway. Have you been noticing any pain lately?
Well, yeah, I've been getting some pretty bad headaches since the surgery, but I figured that's a small price to pay for, not being dead.
When I operated on you, there were clusters of fragments of the ACT crystal embedded in your cerebral tissue. They were too small to work out, and there was a high likelihood that they would fall out, much like splinters would.
I take it they haven't?
No. The injections that Crawlins and Brax gave you have caused your cerebral tissue to actually heal around the fragments and be absorbed into them, so much so that your neurons are actually communicating with the fragments. These are normal scans. These are yours. And these are Broke's.
Holy Curies radium.
Somehow the arrangement of crystals in your brain has replicated that of Broke's neural connection to the rift. Your brain, either consciously or unconsciously, is influencing the ship's systems.
Oh my goodness.
Now, it's important that you stay calm.
Calm?
No,
Calm?
no, you have a neural connection to the ship. Your thoughts and emotions are influencing the ship's systems.
I see, and you thought the best idea to keep me calm was to tell me that my thoughts might cause this ship to explode. I mean, that's a great idea. Stop. Ah. Ow.
I'm sorry. How do you feel?
Fine. Just one thing. Your bedside manner sucks. I'm sorry, I don't know why I just did that.
It's the neurosuppressant I just gave you. It reduces your inhibitions.
Alright, so would you mind telling me why you gave me a
Neurosuppressants.
yes.
You have a mental connection to the rift. It's being influenced by your emotions. The neurosuppressant will at least help minimize the effects.
Right, so you better give me that thing.
Okay, I'll lower the dosage. There. How do you feel?
Better.
You're all right?
I think so. So, what does this mean?
I've been noticing the problem on my scans for a while now. Your neural activity has been growing pretty steadily. With any luck, it hit an apex when we jumped into the void. I'm going to need to monitor you, though, just to quantify the effects, and then we'll decide a course of treatment.
So, I'm connected to the ship.
In much the same way that Broke is. Although your degree of control is less focused and significantly smaller, but the harmonic signals projecting from your brain are identical to hers. I'll need to keep you on the neurosuppressant until we can determine if there's any kind of danger.
Great. So what does this mean?
I'm sorry?
How long has Foster been on recon this time?
About an hour.
This is the 8th time he's been on recon in 4 days.
Ninth. He was gone a couple of hours last night as well.
Why did you have to remind him of these things?
It was the only way I could get him out of here and still monitor his condition appropriately. Any word from the captain?
No. No, he's been gone for days. If Rain isn't correct about those reverberation envelopes, he's likely trapped. We can't get to him without using the rift, which we can't use without the Oris attacking us. Are you able to treat him at all?
No. I tried creating a synthetic auditory system, but grafting it onto him may be a very dangerous procedure. I may end up causing more damage than good.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Not unless you can find me a test subject.
Parker and Brax, from the Dark Dimension, where are their bodies?
They're in cold storage in the morgue. Captain wasn't sure what to do with them.
Did they work as test subjects?
Possibly. I'd have to examine them to make sure their physiology is similar to our own.
It's worth a shot. Pull him out.
What? Why?
He cannot keep running from his problems.
What is it? What's wrong?
Here. Right. Nothing is wrong. No more recon.
What? Why not?
You can't keep running from your condition.
But I can hear there.
This is exactly my point. You keep running from your problems.
Why exactly are you raising your voice?
Who put you in charge anyway?
I didn't come up with it, she did.
Who put you in charge
The
anyway?
captain. In the absence of the captain and the first officer, the security officer is in charge. Is that not correct? I'm asking you.
Yes, of course, that is correct.
What's correct?
That I'm in charge.
What? According to who?
Yes, according to who?
I heard him.
She heard you.
What?
Okay, you two figure it out. I'm done with this.
Foster.
It's been a few days. Have you noticed any change?
Yeah, there haven't been any weird light fluctuations, but, well, Jer's console did zap her when we were having an argument, but that was before I came to get my injection.
Good. Looks like the neural suppressant is doing the trick of treating the symptoms, at least for now.
I don't like this. I've been having trouble concentrating and I can't seem to gather my thoughts.
It'll take some getting used to. It'll be a mild form of intoxication until your body can adapt.
What is it? What's going on?
It's a genome storage unit. There's a containment failure in block 292.
Can I help?
No, you stay here, I'll be right back.
Sorry. I did not see pardon my language.
No worries. Whatever you were saying didn't have a translation.
It's probably for the best.
What are you doing?
I need to find Foster's biosignature so I can locate him on Earth. Could you help me?
Yeah, no problem. There. That should do it.
No, I need to find him on the Earth, not on the space dimension.
Right. No 7.
No, Renia, you need to input his biosignature so the scanner has a target. Okay. I found him. His double's not too far from mine. Are you alright?
I'm fine. I'm just a little overextended is all.
Do you wish to speak about it?
It's just all too much. I have to try and figure out how to keep the Oris from trapping us when we jump. I have to try and bring back Brooke, Anna, because I was too stupid to realize before I started reprogramming her that she was a person. And then on top of that, the genome banks might be starting to decay, and I have to stop this the ship against failure. I have to do all that, but I can't even run a simple triangulation program to help me find Foster.
All these things, you did not choose them. Brooke, you did not take away who she was and lock her up in some metal box. This ship, without you, would be a floating derelict and the captain would be gone. You saved us from Brax when she was trying to exterminate us with the Contran wave. Even the bad things that have happened, if you have not been hurt, Danucci would still be working for Brax. We would have never brought him here. Bad things happen. But you cannot forget the good things that you have done. And now I'm beginning to sound like the captain.
Thanks. That actually does make me feel a little bit better.
One more good thing has come from all of this. Meeting all of you. Why don't you take a rest? Go visit your mom.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
As you wish. I should get back to Foster.
Oh, of course.
You don't give yourself enough credit. You're stronger than you think.
Doctor?
Decker, I was wondering where you had gotten to. We haven't finished our discussion from earlier.
What's wrong? Are the genome banks okay?
Right. We lost the cell, I'm afraid.
I'm so sorry, Danucci.
It's a tragedy.
I can see what I can do about maybe stabilizing them, reduce the rate of decay so we lose as little as possible.
Thank you, I'd appreciate that.
Oh, I almost forgot. Can you take a look at Anna and see if there's any signs of a neural regeneration?
Sure, and as soon as I'm done here.
You hear that, Brooke? When Danucci calls, you need to come to the medibay.
You got it. How long can you do, Danny boy?
This is going to take a while.
What are you doing?
I'm recording the names and profiles of everyone in the dead cell.
There was 1,000 people in that cell. You doing them all one by one?
That's right.
Why? You could just transfer the records over. It'd save a lot of time.
I prefer to do it this way.
It just seems like a waste of time. You're from my Earth. You know how many people died on our world. Another 1,000 is just a drop in the ocean.
Life is important.
Sure, in an ideal world.
No, in every world. Life isn't some frivolous thing. It should not just be taken. It should not just be given up on. And it isn't some commodity that you can say one person deserves any less than any other. No. I mean, life is not just about existing. Plenty of things do that. Exist. Life is for living. It's about quality. It's about the quantity of the quality. It's about the quality of the quantity. And it's about choices. It's about not taking those choices away from someone else. I'm sorry, Anna. I thought I was doing you a favor.
What are you talking about?
It was my job to integrate you into the rift. I was supposed to wipe your memory clean, your personality, everything. But I couldn't do it. No matter how I would rationalize it, it just felt like murder. So I kept as much of you intact as I could, but I think it just made matters worse. And then they did the same thing to a poor girl in the Oris.
No worries, Danny boy. Sounds like your heart was in the right place.
Are you not upset?
Why should it? What you did to Anna is none of my business.
Rainia, come back to the medibay. We need to talk.
When my parents abandoned us, we moved in with this family in South Austin. Everyone was always telling me how lucky we were to be able to stay together. Well, people who want babies don't usually want older kids too. They had this sandbox in the backyard that I used to love. I used to think they got it just for me. I was happy, they were nice, everything was great. For a while. One day, I was out playing in the sandbox when this big, angry thing came slamming into the fence, scratching and digging and growling. The neighbors had gotten this new dog. It was this Rottweiler bulldog thing. I honestly don't know what it was. I could only see it through the slats in the fence, but that was enough. I was convinced that that thing wanted to tear me to pieces, so that was it. It was done. About the same time, my mom started taking Laura out to the sandbox to play. I don't know if she was just at that age where her moms thought she'd start to like it, or if she didn't want to go to waste since I had stopped playing in it. I tried telling her that there was this huge monster trying to eat through the fence, and that's not an exaggeration. I remember seeing these boards, this jaw reaching under and pulling on the boards and chewing on them, but my mom didn't think there was anything to worry about. I would sit on the steps and watch Laura play, keep guard, you know. I tried moving her to the porch, but she'd start crying, and then my dad would come out and tell me to let her play where she wanted to play. I had this plan, that if the dog ever broke through, I'd pick Laura up like a football and run her into the house. I even practiced. I'd go and grab her and run her across the yard like she was a baton. My parents must have thought I was training for the Olympics or something. One day, I was playing in my parents' room and I found this gun that my dad had hidden. I remember thinking it was a lot heavier than I thought it would be. I thought, this is perfect, you know, if that monster breaks through, boom, no more monster. So I took it and hid it under the porch. About a week later, Laura was playing in the sandbox, and out comes the big, angry, snarling monster, sounding like it hadn't been fed in a week. So I did what I always did. I sat and watched Laura play. I felt safe. I felt like Laura was safe. And then it happened. The dog was chewing on the fence slats and pulling on them like it always did, and the slat snapped, the bottom part of it anyway. About a foot off the ground, there was this gap where the whole dog's mouth just suddenly dove through. I just grabbed it, the gun, and I ran to protect Laura. I honestly don't know what I was thinking, if I was trying to hit it or if I was just trying to scare it. There was this loud boom, and the gun jumped out of my hands, and then there was whimpering, and then it all went quiet. Everyone ran out of the house. There was all this yelling, and then the neighbors came out, and they were yelling, and it was Laura and I got moved to new homes less than a week later, but this time we weren't together. I didn't know about Laura right away. I think it took everyone a while to piece together what had happened. I had held the gun too close when it fired. When I fired. The noise had, she lost her hearing. Got adopted right away though. Government gives extra money to taking care of people with disabilities. That's all Laura ever was to that family. A paycheck. Her hearing came back on its own a few years later, but they didn't report it. They just kept on cashing those checks. It's my fault. The only real family we ever had, and I ruined it. Karma finally caught up with me.
You believe this is why you lost your hearing?
So, now you know my big secret. What did you see?
Somebody that I used to know. Somebody that I heard a long time ago. It's an act I've been trying to redeem ever since then.
Do you ever think it'll be enough? I mean, as much as we screw up, do you ever think we'll ever be able to do enough to make up for it?
It is very peaceful here.
Foster?
Of course.
You couldn't have chosen a harder place to find.
Wasn't trying to be found.
Where's Decker?
Rainia's here too.
Cut the attitude, Foster. We're here to have this conversation for your sake.
Foster?
We're over here.
Oh, Lambda Park. You got a good taste, Foster. Came here once with a date.
No kidding. So, now that the whole family's here, what's this all about? Did you guys figure out a way to fix my hearing?
This is about broke.
You mean Anna?
No, we mean broke.
There is no Anna. Not anymore.
I thought I could save a piece of her when I integrated her into the rift, but I was wrong. The cognitive break at the core of the system meant that even though Anna's thoughts and memories were influencing the ship's systems, she never really had access to the information. She was acting without truly understanding why she was acting, and she was always constrained by the program.
She's like an actor playing a part. She knows the story, but she has to stick to the script.
But that's not really living, though. Not unless we give her the ability to make choices. We want to go ahead and remove the cognitive break. Make her self-aware.
I'd remove all of the artificial experiences and personalities. It'd be like a hard reset, but she'd know and understand everything around her. But as broke, not Anna.
It's the closest thing we can do to making her a whole person again, to her being able to make her own choices and not be a slave to a bunch of algorithms. She'd remember everything that's happened to her in the rift and still retain all the technical knowledge, but she'd be self-aware. It's the closest thing we can do to making things right for her.
Yeah, we get all that. Look, not to be a cloud on the parade, but couldn't she just, I don't know, cut all power to the ship or blow it up entirely?
It'd be a risk. We'd have to sever her connection to the rift, just at least until she stabilizes, possibly a minimum few days.
Wouldn't that disable the ship?
Partially. It'll be immobilized until we can reconnect her.
Okay. Set this up, but do not initiate it. We need the captain to come home.
If he comes home.
Is Bro ready yet?
Yeah, she will disconnect automatically just the moment I run the program.
Still no sign of the captain.
What are the chances of the dimensional tear still being open?
The dimensional tear Carlin's created is pretty big, but the rate of decay on it,
Right now.
about 9%.
So the captain is gone. The genome banks are decaying, and if we jump, we are dead.
Chip?
Is there a way to keep the ores from tracking us?
I might actually have an idea. What if we could get help from the Oris
How would we go about doing that?
by using the subdermal injectors? All right, I've had the idea for a few days now. All of the crew of the Oris have subdermal implants. Mine was damaged when Foster went all juggernaut on me, but I've since replaced it. They're used for emergency location and extraction. That's how the Oris knew where Crawlins was when they pulled him out of the brig. They have a signal that can go much further than the usual shield set up around the ship.
And what good would that do us?
Sika is the Oris's comms officer. She's good people. If we can contact her and tell her what Brax is up to, maybe there's a way we can convince her to sabotage the Oris's sensors.
You can do this?
With Decker's help, I think I can modify it to send an encoded message instead of the standard tracking signal. It wouldn't be anything terribly complicated, nothing more than a series of numbers.
Well, what good would that do us? I mean, if all we could send is numbers, what would be the point?
We sent coordinates.
No, because Brax is still in this dimension. If we send coordinates, she'll intercept them and she'll be able to find us.
Not coordinates for up there. Coordinates for down here.
Pikachu? Pikachu?
Zika!
Pikachu? Pikachu! Oh, I thought I was crazy for thinking it was a message from you. I thought I was seeing what I wanted to see. But I was right, I knew it.
Did you come alone?
Of course. How did you escape?
I didn't exactly escape.
Oh, no.
Wait,
no.
stop.
No, I can't believe Carolyn looked right about you.
Ow! Ow! You bit me!
Kitty, kitty, what do you say? This is how I come to play today. Whoa, 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 da, 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 whoa, 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 da, da, da.
Dr. Decker, are you all right?
Hi. It's just an old tech trick to throw off attackers. You're extremely and unfortunately, I think I'll wait, or in this case, just calm down. Don't look at me like that, it worked, didn't it?
I can never unsee that.
Hi, I'm Marianne Decker. Right, so here's the thing. Brax isn't what you think she is. Now all we want to do is talk, okay? Danica would be happy to let you go, and you can run off back to the Oris if you want to, but please, before you do, hear us out.
All right. You have 3 minutes.
Commander Brax has violated her mission.
It's true. She's moved from colonization to near genocide.
She's content on finding an Earth and replacing it with people of her own instead of looking for a new Earth.
No. Brax and Galloway figured out a way to create a new Earth in a new dimension. It'll be free of genetic duplicates so we can populate it with our own people.
It can't be done. I've examined your technology, even with both ships working at full capacity. I could never handle that much data.
Brax wants to take an existing Earth, destroy all the people with genetic duplicates in the genome banks, and then replace them with your people.
Come on, Sika. You've known Commander Brax longer than I have. You know this is not beyond her.
We found a message. Galloway and I. It was from Captain Canis. It was his final message before he died. Galloway didn't want us to tell anyone about it.
Because she knew the truth.
Rex is cold-blooded, but she wouldn't disobey orders.
Sika, listen to us. You know me. Would I risk the lives of all those people in the genome banks if I wasn't 100% sure?
Okay, let's say I believe you. And that is a jump, mind you. Why tell me? What can we do about it?
You can stop the Oris from tracking us.
No. No way. Brax is more obsessed with that now than ever. If I sabotage or interfere with the tracking at all, she'll know right away.
Can you sabotage the engine?
It's pretty rough up there, but I'd be surprised if nobody noticed right away.
Could you get help?
Are you kidding me? I barely believe you. I'd be hard pressed to start a movie.
What if you did not have to?
I'm listening.
Who is next in line for command after Brax?
Ordinarily it'd be Harker. After that would be Carlisle.
He's dead too.
Well then, Sika's next in line. After that, Crawlins.
So you are next in line for command when Brax is inaccessible.
That's correct. I'm not going to assassinate Commander Brax.
No, nothing so crude. But if we could convince the crew that Brax has been killed.
That's impossible. The Oris sensors can detect any of our life signs on and off the ship. If she's alive, the Oris is going to know it.
And what about the cadavers?
The what?
The bodies from the void dimension. Danichi was going to use them to test experimental hearing treatments for Foster, but this could be far more useful.
What, excuse
You
me?
know what I mean?
No, I don't. You mean that Danichi might be able to fix my hearing?
Not if we use them for this. I'd have to burn out certain parts of the genetic material that don't match up with the DNA on file. It'd compromise several of their major systems.
Would you still have one body?
To be safe, I need to keep Parker around just to make sure that there's a computer match.
Okay, so new plan.
Foster. If we had a cadaver of Brax, do you think you could fool your ship systems into registering the dead Brax as the real one?
I might. Setting aside the fact you have a cadaver of Commander Brex in the first
Oh,
place.
sorry, that documentary?
No, I don't want to know. I'd need you to embed a subdermal implant into the cadaver. And then I can walk you through how to program it to mimic her signal.
Thanks.
There's still one problem though. The real Brex is up and walking around the Oris.
Can't you force her into recon?
You maybe, me not so much.
Well, do you think she'd take some R&R if you recommended it?
The woman sleeps with a data pad under her pillow. But if one of you sent her a message, say you want to meet down here on the planet, can we strike a deal?
Do you think she'd come alone?
The commander is obsessed with getting the rift back. She'd have to comply. She'd have no choice. Anyway, she's off ship. I can lock out the return function.
I don't like it.
With the captain gone, I don't know if we have much of a choice. All right. We lure Brax down to this planet. We inject our Brax with a subdermal implant. The Oris registers her as dead. Seek assumes command.
And we conclude this whole mess without a drop of blood being spilt. Do we have a deal?
We have a... Here you are. You can't keep me waiting like this. This is the fourth time I have asked for recon in a week. The commander's going to get suspicious.
Look, it's not like my double camps out in the park. I have to come from wherever he is. What's the status?
Sensors are ready and waiting. The next person to take recon, it'll automatically tune into your Brax's signal.
Great.
Is everything okay? If this plan isn't going to work, you have to tell me right away. I am risking a lot for you people.
Don't mind me, all right? I'm just sick of being deaf is all.
Deaf?
It's a long story. Basically, I'm giving up my one and only chance of getting my hearing back for this stupid plan. Not that I think the plan is stupid. That's not what I meant. Forget it. Look, we'll be ready within a few hours.
Waiting your orders.
Hey. Thanks for helping us.
Just make sure I don't regret it.
She's standing by. Just waiting on us.
How are we doing?
Almost finished programming the subdermal injector. How's the,
There's some unusual amounts of decay. Her DNA helix is actually reverting to a protoplasmic state. We better hurry. If there's too much decay, then the Oris sensors won't register it as Brax.
Hey, question?
Nobody, okay? Jira?
Jira here.
Danichu thinks we'd better hurry. The Brax cell is beginning to decay.
Sending the message now. Dennis, we better get down there to distract the real brat.
Hey, I just wanted...
Here you go. Programming ready.
Thank you. Okay. It's installing now. We're good. It's registering.
We better get down there.
Hey! Let me go.
What?
Let me meet with Brax. Come on. I'm useless here. You all got to contribute. This is the only way I can do any good.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I can do it.
make sure you stay down there long enough for Sika to block out Brax's ability to return.
All right. Sika has tuned into the full signal. I'm turning back now.
Hey, what's going on? What are you doing back? What are you doing? You can't activate Broke's programming. It'll incapacitate the ship. You can't. What did you think you were doing? What's going?
Sorry about this.
What the hell are you doing with that? Wait!
What's going on down there?
Something's gone
Dead
wrong.
in the water.
Foster just attacked Dr. Decker and then he emptied off the ship.
Is she alright?
She'll live.
Sika must have been more loyal to Brax than you thought.
I don't think so. Before Foster disappeared, he looks like he used the subdermal implant and then he took all his medical data for his hearing implant.
Why would he do this?
Perhaps Brax made a better deal than we could.
Shipping bound.
Is it yours?
No. No, it's the Mitamoa. It's the captain. Putting him through.
This is Tannis to the Rift. I just detected a signal leaving the Rift. Someone wants to tell me what's been going on.